Okay, also, I had been sitting thinking about this for a long time, and I didn't want to actually post this video until I had more, it's not even facts until I did a whole bunch more research on it. But this is just something that I was just thinking about. Okay, I was thinking that I know they say our Father which art in heaven, and it seems like everybody is referring to God as a male. But it's kind of like when I became enlightened, I started questioning everything. It's like that's one way to get out the matrix because it's like your mind has been so. That's why I say institutionalized. We refer to it as people that's been in prison. It's like they can't survive without being out of prison. They just so used to thinking that they so used to thinking that way and living that life. I feel like we've been institutionalized. Like anything you say against the norm or anything that you've been taught and then somebody speaks out against it, like it's like they're castrated and thrown stones upon or whatever. Like one thing that one thing that had me kind of like curious about this is kind of like okay with the secret celebrity transgender agenda. Now, I said before that they switched the genders to mock God or whatever. But if you really think about it, the secret trend, especially with the celebrities, the secret transgender agenda, that don't seem like they trying to like mock women. If you really think about it, they take a male and put him in a dress and dress him up as a woman. So that's already a mockery and that's like an abomination. But then they take the real woman and then turn her into a man. It's like Satan really has something against women. It's like he hates women. He hates women to me. That's how I'm taking it. And for him to be so strongly against women, look at the way women are degraded and the whole thing about porn, how that came up and just treat women like and it's LUTs or whatever and just really low and abuse them and I'm not saying men don't get abused too, but it's like the women have it very hard. And I put up a video before TD Jake saying that men have it hard. And yeah, men have it hard, but I'm telling y'all, women have it hard. There's some strong women out here. I'm one of them. Women that been through a whole lot and still are able to persevere. And yes, men too. But right now, I'm speaking from a woman's point of view to prove my point. And I had talked to my aunt, one of my aunts, long time ago about this. We were in a car talking. It's just like just throwing stuff out there because when you're awake and you're at the matrix, you start questioning everything that they told you. What if? Because I know they say that God is without form, and he doesn't have a gender, but we're still talking about energy, masculine and feminine energy, and you could say he is both. But think about it like this: y'all don't think that way back then, before Satan got kicked out of heaven, and maybe God was a woman, the Most High was a woman, and Satan, who was like whatever they said, the most beautiful, handsomest angel, whatever, brightest angel in the heavens or whatever was over all the music. You think maybe he got jealous of maybe he got jealous of God and he was like, oh, I'm gonna be just like the Most High, and then just by that thought alone he got kicked out with other angels who followed him too. It's like if you really think about it, it's like what if he was a man and he was a male masculine energy and he was jealous of the Most High because it was a woman, and then when he came down here, that's why he secretly mocks him with the transgenders and stuff like that. I it's just my mind is kind of like thinking a lot. Like when I go back and think of stuff in the Bible, that's why I'm not so strongly like uh I'm not against the Bible or nothing like that, but it's just like I question certain things in it, like basic human things like the Ten Commandments and a lot of scriptures that I still do remember that I was taught, or like certain things, not exact Bible scriptures like John chapter 8, like stuff like that. I don't memorize verses, but just certain things I was taught over the years, it still sticks with me. But certain things, like I told you, don't really make a lot of sense. Like, for example, back then we know the letter J wasn't even invented, so we know that Jesus isn't even his real name. But when I found out his real name, and God does have many names, but when I found out his name, it's like even today I still have a hard time when I pray. I'll slip up and say Jesus because I was so used to so many years saying it in church and when you pray in Jesus' name and stuff like that. And I'm far away from that, but sometimes I slip up every now and then because it's so embedded in my brain. But that's not his real name, and I told you the power in knowing the real name of God. Also, what else was I going to talk about? Like I told you guys before, the snake story, where the snakes littered up to Eve, and snakes can't talk then, and they still can't talk now. And then they talked about Jonah in the belly of the whale. Nobody can survive in the belly of a whale for 3 days. You could say that God is so powerful that He let you survive, but let's just be real. We're on the physical earth, so you gotta really, really start thinking about it. I start questioning things because they say God is the same God today as He was yesterday, and even though I'm thinking about the story of Mary, and people can, like I say, people can say what they want to say. They can have their own theories, but just think about this: Mary and Joseph. Think about you guys that are married to your wives or whatever, and just remember, God is the same God today as He is tomorrow. Means He's doing the same things. Just think about: does this make sense? If you guys are married to your wife, and let's say y'all have kids or y'all don't have kids, and let's just say you go out of town for a couple of months and you come back and your wife is pregnant, and it doesn't match up in the time that y'all were together, and she says she's pregnant because an angel came down and told her she's gonna be pregnant with God's child or whatever. And just I'm just being honest, what's the first thing that you would do? You would either try to kill her or you would really severely hurt her. Just let's just be real. That's It doesn't really make a lot of sense. And they said an angel came down and told them, no, this is the truth, but that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And I'm just in the minute you say something that's against the norm, I mean, just logically speaking, does that make any sense to you? Can that happen today? Can any of you guys that are married to your wife, can she get pregnant and then you know that you weren't sleeping with her at the time, and then she come up to you and say, no, an angel come down and tell you that. I mean, we can say the supernatural all we want or whatever, because I do believe in the supernatural world, but just logically speaking, does that make any sense? And then when you try to talk in a logical way, because everything is not just so fact based, like I told you guys before, I have had situations in my life. It's no doubt in my mind that there is a God or whatever. There's no doubt in my mind. It's certain situations I've been in that I should be dead, or I should be severely hurt, or I shouldn't have been here, and God help me. So that's no doubt in my mind. But it's just the Bible is man made. You don't know what they wrote in, added in, and you don't know what they really took out. They even said it's books of the Bible that's missing. So I'm just like, if we just use common logical sense, a lot of the stuff that 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 they are saying is not adding up. No, I'm not talking down on the Bible or nothing like that, because a lot of the basic principles of the Bible, like the commandments and stuff like that, I live my life by it. It brings a certain level of order, because you know that, and just basic level of karma. You know what you put out, you get back. How you treat people or whatever. In general, you know you're supposed to live your life in a godly manner, but a lot of stuff is just not making sense. And when like I said, I start questioning everything. So Mother Nature, when they say that Mother Earth, it's like it's a feminine energy, and God to me has a lot of feminine characteristics, like nurturing, forgiving, and I'm not saying man can't be like that, but it just the way, the energy or whatever. But we so used to saying he and father, and he died on the cross. So it's just I don't know. I just question everything, like I said, and I don't take everything that is in the Bible and just take it for football faith, because remember, it is man-made. That's just something to think about. That's just something that was on my mind. I wasn't going to share it because I looked online and I saw some of the other people that was talking about it, and people be real disrespectful on other people's channels in the comments that don't agree or whatever. We all are entitled to our opinions. Nobody should be bashed, because like I said, I see a lot of people on the internet who be talking, oh, there ain't no God, blah 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 blah. And I know there's a God. I feel there's a God, but they may not feel it. I'm not finna battle with you and be like, you stupid, you going to hell because you said it's like just respect certain people's beliefs in theories or whatever. It's like you don't have to agree. You can put your opinion on it, but it's like don't ever shun somebody and call them a devil or blasphemy and stuff like that. I call people devils or whatever because I know what they are. Like for example, when I call it them, and I'm gonna make this quick, but when I call it them transgenders, I know really who they are. To me, it's demonic for you to portray yourself. And when you know what you are, you know who you worship, and you portray yourself as a whole nother gender, and being somebody you're not, you lying. That's something to be called out on to me. because I'm just a truth teller. But in general, it's like this is my opinion, and people can write what they want to write. You can't stop nobody from writing certain things in your comment section. But I'm just saying we need to start thinking more outside the box. Like think of certain things that we've read over the years that we've been taught. Does it really make sense? I mean, just really like think about it. Of course, God is real. The Most High is the Creator. He's the ruler of all. But just go back and think about some of the stories that you heard, and say, and just ask yourself: does it sound more like of a? Does it sound kind of like a fairy tale if you really think about it? Just think about some of the stuff logically. Can that happen today? So I don't know. That's just something to think about. Something I wanted to share.